message of hope do you have for Asburyans?
Well, when we were doing the strategic planning process, I think that the hope is to figure out how we take the assets of Asbury and look at what we need for ourselves as well as for the community that we're in, so that we can have a new strength for the future. Asbury will not be what it was, but it can still hold on to what we've been about in our community. And you see that we have a strong history of that over time, and I hope we can get it right soon for the future.
That flavor of when you were a small child to when you were a young woman to where we are today, what does Asbury feel like to you? Just every place has a physical feel. What is it for you, and can you just talk a little bit about some of those changes?
Well, I think the first thing that I've valued is the corner that we're on in Washington, D.C. To be a downtown church that, even though we struggle, but downtown churches are struggling all over the United States, is how do we stay on that corner?
Of 11th and K.
At 11th and K Northwest. And when Curtis and I were working on Asbury Dwellings, we had someone say to us, well, maybe you all should sell one of these. You're on one corner. Do you need to be on two corners? And I said, yes, we do. These are two very important corners in the history of Washington, and they've been our church and our Asbury Dwellings, and I don't see us changing that. And I think figuring out how we maintain and sustain ourselves as the city changes. I believe new people have to be welcomed, and I think we have to take care of our own. This is too valuable of a resource, and it amazes me. I mean, it's kind of sad for me to say this, but it was a very diverse group of people that came to my father's funeral, and particularly whites would say, oh my gracious, this is a beautiful church. So I believe Asbury will always be a church, but I want it to be a church that respects the history of our founding and the years that we've been there. And I use an example. I vote at a church in my neighborhood right on Calorama and Columbia Road, and we were standing in line for voting, and the neighborhood is basically gentrified, or at least that part of our community. And a white couple was walking, and they saw the picture gallery and they said, this was a black church? And I said, yes, this was a very strong black community at one point. And so I want to make sure that what we've built is always a part of it and not just a photo gallery on the wall, but we have integrated community in our future.